The Atlantic had no mercy last week in Miami. Team Bacardi came out on top after Callan Marine was plagued by winter gremlins. Joe Skro and Peter Meyer took a hard beating, but came out victorious. Firewater started the year on fire. In Superstock, Dennis Berry jumps back on top. And the battle continues in Marathon next on OLN. It's the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Grand Prix here in Marathon, Florida.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stan Lane. When you talk about unique, extreme races, they don't get any more extreme than right here in Marathon. This is the only race of the entire season where the boats leave the Gulf of Mexico and race into the Atlantic Ocean over here. Not only that, but they race under 2 bridges, not once per lap, but twice per lap. That's 4 bridges to negotiate. The historic old 7-mile bridge on the far side and the newer one closer to me. If you look very closely, you'll see that the currents between those bridges are indeed treacherous. The biggest and fastest race boats in the world are ready to do battle. There's a lot of turns on this race course. The weather is picture perfect right now, so if you're ready, let's go racing.
There's our 47-foot Fountain Pace boat with SBI President John Carbonell on board. The boats are headed out to their milling circles. You saw Rio Roses. They only made 1 lap at the last race in Miami. Spectators are all over this race course on the various islands and keys here in this area, on the bridges, under the bushes. They're everywhere to see this SBI action up close and personal as we look at our lineups now. The boats are circling counterclockwise. They're keeping their eye on the pace boat. They'll watch for the yellow flag, and that signifies that they will get up on plane. They'll form a straight line behind the pace boat and watch for the green flag. When the green flag goes up, this race will be official. Water conditions on the Gulf side extremely smooth. I'm looking for very, very high speeds today. But as we said, in the open, going through those bridges, they're going to have to maintain their lanes, and they're going to have to be very, very aware of where they are at all times. And we will have a bird's eye view of going through those bridges on their onboard cams. Here you see one on PX1 Bacardi Silver, and also another one on VL30 Mikusuki Indian Gaming. It's going to be very, very up close and personal indeed.
Each and every year, the SBI race boats get faster and faster. The helicopters are having a hard time actually keeping up with them. What we did is go out and get a British Strike Master. This is owned by Doug Kelly. Josh is the pilot here. We're getting ready to head out. We're going to run the course, and Josh promises me no barrel rolling. We'll see you shortly.
Boy, this is just super cool, Josh. I'll tell you what. I didn't realize it's going to be so loud in here, man. Oh, my goodness, feel that thrust. Woo-hoo. Awesome, man. All right, let's check out this course as we cruise around here. 6.3 miles in length. We talked about all the turns earlier. Easy, easy, buddy, easy beat. 2 bridges, 6 turns. They go from the Gulf of Mexico out to the Atlantic and back again. And I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be very, very exciting. Oh, man. You know what? Don't ever worry about me getting my pilot's license, Josh.
Josh, you promised me no barrel rolling. You lied to me.
I'm going to get that guy if it's the last thing I ever do. We talked about the onboard cameras. This is a stern cam now, looking off the back end of the boat. You'll see the rooster tails going up. And we have an official start now. This is our first start. These are the biggest and fastest race boats in the world. We jump on board VL22 National Marine, coming off a victory in Miami. 38-foot Fountain hull. And Bacardi Silver right there in the forefront of your screen, the world's fastest offshore cat, taking an early lead as we jump on board Mikusuki Indian Gaming. Look at the rooster tails. They're trimming the drives up. They're raising the tabs. That airs out the hull, makes the boat ride looser and lighter in the water, which brings up the speed on board V1 Firewater now. Also victorious in Miami, and they're making a pass now on Rio Roses. Great battle in Superboat V. Our overall leader, PX1 Bacardi Silver, speeds approaching 150 miles an hour now as they air it out. They'll have to slow down now to set up for this first turn. Miccosukee Indian Gaming now. You see them, they're finding the pins. As the boats cross over the wakes now, you can see it does disturb the hull, upsets them a little bit. But this is nothing like the Miami race as far as the big water. Great spectator crowd, fleet on hand. Bacardi Silver making their first turn, and now they'll set up now for the first bridge to go under. And then about 40 feet beyond that bridge, there'll be another bridge. You see how the boat goes sideways. That's called crabbing, as they're trying to fight for the clean water. They're trying to get that boat set and dialed in, and here you go. Oh my God, between that fighter jet and this, I don't know if I can handle this. This is great action. And speaking of action in Superboat V, here's Rio Roses trying to overtake your leader in Superboat V, Firewater. It's very close as they approach the bridge. They'll have to maintain their lanes. Wow, that is strictly intense right there. Now they'll set up for their turn number 2, their second turn. Here's your battle for first place in Superboat V Limited. We're zooming in now on Miccosukee Indian Gaming. You see how the differences in ride attitudes of the catamarans as they crabbed in the V-bottoms that slice and dice through the water. Whoa, got a little disturbed there. Tremendous currents run between those bridges. We talked about that earlier in the open, but the current is running about 10 to 12 miles per hour or about 7 knots through there. So it's very dangerous. Now we'll check out the right attitude of VL22 National Marine. They had a pretty clean entrance and exit through both bridges. You see them fighting and seesawing on that wheel. And here's your battle for fourth in Superboat V Limited. VL50 on the right and VL57, Pier 57 on the left. We'll be back with a second start right after this. The Fountain Superboat International's Marathon Grand Prix is brought to you by Fountain Powerboats, because there is a difference. By Featherlight Coaches, the official coach of SBI. By Featherlight Trailers, the official trailer of SBI. And by the City of Marathon. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Marathon Grand Prix. I'm Stan Lane. Nice to have you along here on OLN as we check out this SBI offshore action at its finest. Here's our second start of the day here in Marathon. Now, these are the Superboat stock boats. Jumping on board S49 Port On. They're in the process of doing just that. Trying to catch up with Bermuda Barracuda and this boat, S18 Racing Frenzy, as we look off the stern of that boat as those 2 outboard power plants churn the water up. Second place in Superboat stock, S1 Mapei. Gary Ballou, Mike Magis on board. These Superboat stock boats are 30 to 32 feet in length. They're all catamarans, and they're the only class in SBI that has the outboard power plants on them. Port On swinging very wide on that turn number 1. And here's your leader, S19 Bermuda Barracuda.
Team Barracuda, you guys had a hair-raising experience in testing yesterday. Tell us about it, Dennis.
Stan, I tell you, it reminded us of old times in Key West a couple years back when we knocked a hole in the boat and it started going down. We was testing and something started feeling funny in the boat, started leaning to one side, and next thing I knew, the bilge pumps were pumping water out. We had lost the pickup on the bottom of the boat for our ballast tank, and it was actually filling the boat full of water. And just lucky for the guys at the crane, got us over there, got us out before we went all the way down. So we're back today, ready to rock and roll.
And obviously none the worse for wear, as they are currently first place, and this boat is screaming today here in Marathon. Speaking of screaming, first place in Superboat V, V1 Firewater, hitting speeds now close to 120 miles per hour on the backstretch. And this boat trying to reel them in, trying to run them down. V71 Rio Roses Lake Cumberland. Both of these boats, Firewater and Rio Roses, and as well as this boat, which is in a different class, they're all fountain hulls, extremely fast, the fastest V-bottoms in the world. This is your battle for second place in Superboat V Limited. These boats have twin 525 horsepower power plants, fuel injected. They see speeds around 105 miles per hour. First place in Superboat V Limited right now, fountainracing.com. David Knight, Roger Osley on board this very, very fast 38-foot fountain. Here's your battle for fourth. Mid-America and Muscle right behind them. They're trying to muscle in on that fourth place as we speak. This is the first showing of the Muscle team in 2004. We've missed them. They've got the same hull, but new power this year and a new class for them, Superboat V Limited.
Team Muscle is back, and Dr. Bruce, may I just say, welcome back to SBI. We missed you guys.
Well, we planned on being here for the first race, but it's taken some time. We've redone the boat, put the 525s in, and it's taken some time to get it dialed in, and we definitely want to do it right for the Muscle team.
The class you're in right now, Diamond Dave, is hot and heavy, hotly contested. I know you guys will be up there in the front duking it out.
Yeah, we're excited about it. A lot of these guys we never raced before. We've watched them when they were doing F2, fast boats, good competitors. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, so far it is extremely fantastic, but they've got some ground to make up. But this race is just underway, so they've got plenty of time to do it. In fifth place, VL 57, Pier 57. Looking off their stern now. They just came through the bridges. That's, of course, David Woods and Art Lilly on board that boat. Sixth place, VL 10, Mid-America Offshore and Superboat V Limited. It's a phantom hull. Trying to duke it out, dice it out with all those fountain boats. Still our overall leader as he makes his way for lap number 2. PX1 Bacardi Silver. David Scott, John Tomlinson on board this boat. It's the only offshore cat to eclipse the 200-mile-per-hour barrier as he goes through the bridges one more time, and he did it picture perfect. Looking down at their production classes now, P3-4 cast-off racing, and here's your P4 leader, P4-7 Pittman Photo, that Manta hull. Guys had a great run in Miami in the real big water. Let's see how they handle the smooth water conditions today here in Marathon. Another P4 boat, they are currently second, 28-foot Pantera. P4-12, the Miami Boys. And swinging wide on that turn because of all the extra speed they're carrying. Here's your current leader, first place in Superboat V, V1 Firewater. They got a checkered flag in Miami. They want to keep that trend going. I know here in Marathon with another checkered flag, but Rio Roses may have something to say about that. You see the tape on the right side of your screen, just above the driver's head. That is lap tape. Every time they do a lap, they pull a piece of tape off. It's not very high tech, but it gets the job done, and it has for years.
Team Firewater rough and ready to go. You guys have had some classic battles this year with Rio Roses.
Yes, we have, Stan. It's been tough, but we had a real good test yesterday. Mac Tools Firewater's out there ready to go. We got a little wind coming up, which we need. We like the rough water, so we're going to give it a real good go, but we're racing against a real tough team.
Tough team indeed. There you see Firewater going through the bridge. They're just behind it, our Superboat stock leader, Barry Cuda. Firewater is a faster boat. You can see that speed differential right there. And here's the second place boat he was just talking about. That's V71 Rio Roses. They had their problems in Miami, but I tell you what, this boat is hitting on all cylinders today. Our first look at the Superboat Limited Cat class, number 69, Showtime. The action hot and heavy here in Marathon. We'll be right back with more of it. Welcome back. It's the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Marathon Grand Prix. What a beautiful place. One of the premier fishing towns in all of the world. Earlier we caught up with the mayor of this beautiful city.
Jeff, one of our favorite venues of the entire year SBI season is coming here to your beautiful city of Marathon.
It's a pleasure to have you folks come down here. You come down off season, you bring a lot of the boaters, people that aren't not normally coming to Marathon this time of year, so it's fantastic to have you here.
Ah, beautiful place, beautiful people, and beautiful weather here. Ideal for SBI offshore action. And speaking of that action, here comes your first place and overall leader on the left of your screen, crab walking towards you. When those boats crab, they scrub off some speed, so that is not conducive to maintain your highest speed, but it does happen with the catamarans. The V-bottoms don't do that as much. We'll jump on board our leader, PX1 Bacardi Silver, slowing down for the turn now. When these boats slow down for the turn, they pull back on the throttles, they lower the drives, which causes more drag, and they lower the trim tabs. V1 Firewater, 42-foot fountain hull, twin step bottom. Pad on the very back, notched transom to get clean water to those drives, and that boat is screaming today. They are indeed on fire on the water. We'll jump on board V1 Firewater as they go through the bridge, see how they negotiate it, trying to maintain their lane, stay in the very, very middle of those spansion bridges. And second place in Superboat V, V71 Rio Roses. It's a fountain hull, 42 feet in length. It's the world speed record holder.
Those graphics tell it all. The Fountain Rio Roses boat is the world's fastest V-bottom boat. And, Benny, that means everybody's gunning for you at this race here in Marathon.
Well, sure. We had a great race in Orange Beach with the Firewater right back and forth with us. Jeff on the throttles. The Rio Rose Lake Cumberland boat is very fast. It's got a great history behind it. It's won the World Championship several times last year. We've did a lot of prop testing. We did some more setup work last week, and hopefully we'll be a little more competitive this weekend, and it's going to be a better race. I'm sure that they've gone to work, too, because this is going to be another one of those calm water races. The beauty of this race is we go through the bridge and make some right and left-hand turns, so it's going to be a lot of driver and a lot of throttling and just being able to accelerate between those buoys, and I'm looking forward to an exciting weekend.
Jeff, as he said it, it wasn't too many years ago when if a V-bottom boat eclipsed a 100-mile-per-hour barrier, that was amazing. And now you guys at 160. What has transpired to make these boats so fast?
Well, a lot of research and development back at the factory, and it's just evolved. The propellers are better. The engines from Mercury are really, really good. They continue to get better and have a lot of reliability. And it's just that forward momentum, and it just makes it exciting to race. And we're just really happy to be here in Marathon, Florida, racing where the spectators are plentiful and the fun's great.
And the fun continues now, looking at a head-on view of V71 as it comes at you at roughly 130 miles per hour. Uh-oh, VL10, Mid-America Offshore, out of the race. I know Will Smith is going to hate that. The battle for second place in the Superboat V Limited continues. Mikusuki leading the way over National Marine, but not by much. On board, Peter Meyer, Joe Skro, VL22. Whew. Didn't take but a split second, just the bat of an eyelash to go through those two bridges at that high speed. You see how the boat leans over on the chines as they go through those turns. Communication is key here between the driver and throttle man. That lady is going for a very, very fast ride on that 42-foot fountain boat. That's Team Muscle. As we said earlier, glad to have them back this year, 2004. Fifth place, trying to make up some speed. Another very, very fast fountain boat, VL57, Pier 57. It's just the same scenario as the Muscle team. This boat was set up to be a Superboat V, but they've dropped in the V limited motors, so it's a little bit heavier hull, and they would like rougher water.
Team Pier 57, Art, everything is brand new.
You're right. Brand new boat, brand new class, brand new engines, brand new paint job. We're fresh out of the box. We haven't even been in this boat yet.
And race time just a little while off. You guys are going to have to go in there and get acclimated very, very quickly. But I know you guys have been together for a long time, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, it was one of the deals at Fountain Powerboats. They've worked on the boat. It's a new boat. They just got it finished. It just got here today, so we're about ready to get in and see what it's going to do.
Well, right now it's doing well, but it's in fifth place, and I know they are not happy with that. Neither Art nor David is happy with that place. Here's your first place. These guys have to be happy. Smiles as wide as Texas on their faces right now. S19 Bermuda Barracuda. Can they maintain it? Can they keep the boat together? 40% of these boats do not finish a race. They're under so much load. There's a constant amount of friction on these hulls at all time. It's like a car going up a 45-degree angled hill constantly. You can't let off. The Superboat stock battle for third place. Here's S31, the Hulk. brand new name for this team this year. Doug Kelly, Rob Nunziato. S49 poured on in a heated battle right now for 4th place with Racing Frenzy. You notice the F-16 fighter cockpit canopies on almost all these SBI boats. They are there for safety, and all the racers have to practice how to extricate themselves from those capsules, and this is a part of it right here.
Safety always paramount here at SBI, and the dunker test is part of that safety program.
Absolutely. It's probably the most important part of it. If these guys aren't comfortable in the dunker, if they do get in trouble out there, they could panic, anything can go wrong, and we need them to be calm when we're going in to pick them out. It gives them a lot more comfort. A lot of guys that flipped over after going through this dunker say it's the best thing they've ever done.
Well, it's a little uneasy feeling at first, going upside down, not knowing, getting your bearings, but as the diver said, just relax, and with relaxing, it was okay. A little unusual, but it was good. I feel a lot safer now.
Back to racing action. S11 Game On Racing. They're 4th place in Superboat stock. Battling it out with Pour It On. We jump on board Pour It On. 30-foot Spectra Cat, twin 280 horsepower outboard motors on the back end of these boats. They run about 105+ miles an hour in ideal conditions, which we have today. Still, your overall leader, PX1 Bacardi Silver. There is just no stopping this boat. Going through the bridges one more time, and speaking of this boat, on board is a new passenger. She's doing some navigating. Elisa Reyes is on board Bacardi Silver.
David, a brand new last-minute addition to your team, but I tell you what, a good addition.
Yeah, there sure is. We're looking forward to having Elisa on board with us here. Give her some experience in one of these super boats. Let her get the feel of it. See if she really likes it. I think she will, and hopefully come join us in super boat sometime.
Wow, that sounds exciting. Lisa, what exactly happened yesterday with your boat, Extreme?
Well, what happened was we hit some shallow water, and I think we got some sand and stuff, you know, inside the engine and propellers and stuff like that, and it was heating up. But, you know, personally, I really am interested in riding a boat that this size and this speed, and with a team that's so great like this. And I'm really, really excited because I know this is like one of the fastest boats in the world. And, you know, even though I love my team and Frank Starr, who's a great throttle guy, unfortunately, we can't race today. So, to me, you know, that was a good stepping stone, and now I'm ready for some bigger boats.
I tell you what, the uniform fits you perfectly, and you are on the world's fastest boat, so go get them.
I will. Thank you.
Well, they are indeed doing just that, and we'll be right back with more SBI Offshore action right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Marathon Grand Prix here in beautiful Marathon, Florida, in the Keys. I'm Stan Lane. Nice to have you along for SBI racing action. The action is indeed hot, but not for this team. Team Bacardi Silver is out of the race. You see the hatch going up. Their race day is done. I know Elisa Reyes hates that, but this team has got to love it because they are our new overall leader, V1 Firewater, and leader in Superboat V. That 42-foot fountain hull really doing a great job here today. We'll jump on board and see what it feels like, what it looks like, and what it sounds like going through the bridge at 130 miles an hour. Wow. Extreme racing at its best. V71 Rio Roses Lake Cumberland, second place, trying to run down Firewater. They're not that far behind. One little mishap, one mis-throttling position, and it could happen. Here's your battle for second place in Superboat V Limited now. Making a wider turn. On the wide turns now, you can maintain your RPM and kind of slingshot your way around. The boat on the inside, of course, is going the shorter distance. So that makes it a little bit faster for them.
In Super V Limited, leading by just 1 point, Pete, National Marine. I know you guys have got your hands full today.
Yes, Stan, we do. We're going to go out there. We're going to give it our best, but we really don't have the advantage today. It's going to be a little calm in the inside. We hopefully will get rough after we go through the bridges. We go from there, but we need some rough water.
Well, the only place on the race course where it is rough, you see the spray they're taking over the bow is right there going through the bridges. After that, it gets smooth again. And this heavier boat, this older design Fountain, needs rougher water, as does this boat. And they are currently 4th in Superboat V Limited VL50 Muscle. Maintaining a consistent 5th place position right now, VL57 Pier 57, this brand new boat, not quite dialed in the way David Woods and Art Lilly want it to be. Our stern cam giving you a good shot of what it's like back there. That water really getting disturbed by those props spinning at about 7,000 RPMs. First place, Superboat Stock, S19 Bermuda Barracuda. Trying to hold off the charge of this boat, who appears to be slowing down a little bit. They don't seem to be quite up to the speed they had earlier. Uh-oh, they're pulling off the race course. S1 Mapei pulling off the race course. Oh, that's unfortunate. Here's your battle for second place, coming right at you now, the Hulk. And being followed very, very closely by Oceans 234 with a brand new driver on board. So this team trying to get used to each other, but they're doing a good job so far here in Marathon.
With Oceans 234 and Alan, a brand new team for this race.
Yes, Mr. Greg Harris came through at the last minute. We had personal problems with my previous driver, which we hope to get back, but he came through in the pinch, and he's a very experienced poker run boat handler, and I think he's going to be fine for the job. We're going out right now to get him ready.
Well, it's a baptism by fire. Big difference between poker running and racing here with these kind of conditions, but they are doing a good job so far, as is this team, but they need to make up some time, pour it on. There you see how the clouds have rolled in there. There's a front approaching, and the wind has picked up some. That's going to make the racing conditions change somewhat as this race progresses. Fifth place in Superboat Stock, S18 Racing Frenzy. Open cockpit configuration. Racing Frenzy in the process of building a brand new, longer catamaran boat. But in the meantime, they're making do with this race pleasure configuration. And they're not doing a bad job, but this boat is a little bit heavier than the actual race boats. First place in manufacturer production 1, P144, Kevin Aram in the Outlaw. And P37, Team Taboo, first place in production 3. Second place in production 3, P34, Cast Off Racing, coming off a victory in Miami in that 38-foot cigarette hull. First place in P4, the Miami Boys. And first place in P5, the wily veteran, Great Adventure, Bill Gazelle. Your overall leader, V1 Firewater, 42 feet of Fountain Hull. Look at the ride attitude of that hull. It is just, it is dialed in so well, flat, those steps doing their job. And speaking of doing a job, we did a job on the nightclub scene in that Marathon. Great restaurants, great nightlife, as the day life is. We love coming here and always have so much fun when we do. We'll be back with more racing action right after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Grand Prix here in beautiful Marathon, Florida, in the Florida Keys. Always have a great time when we come here. They extend the welcome wagon to us. They lay out the red carpet. And Randy Mearns, the city commissioner, always the consummate host.
Randy, all year long, people ask me if we're going to come back to your great city, Marathon, and race between the bridges, because everybody talks about that. It's really awesome.
It is. It's great. I mean, where else in the world probably can you race between the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean and then go back again? And you know, going through the world-famous 7-mile bridge just makes it that more dramatic.
And the hospitality here in Marathon, always A1, first class.
Well, we thank you for that. And, you know, we love having the boat races here. It's great, the sunshine, the water, fishing, diving, and all. And then we get to have a good boat race besides that. So we're glad to have everybody here.
Well, thank you, Randy. He mentioned the sunshine. Let me just say the sunsets are just totally phenomenal here in Marathon. Truly beauty to the eye. We're on board once again, our leader in Superboat V and our leader overall, V1 Firewater. You see those lap tapes, they're getting less and less as we go along. They pull them off, and the water is roughening up as we speak. We're up to about 2-foot chop now, and that's going to help out the heavier boats we talked about earlier. That's going to speed them up, and it's going to make the lighter hulls have to slow down a little bit to compensate for the rougher water. VL30 Mikasuga Indian Gaming running a very consistent race in second place, but he needs to make up some time, needs to trim that boat out just a little bit more because he's been battling hot and heavy all day long with this boat right here in National Marine. VL50 Muscle, 4th place, Superboat V Limited. That's one of the heavier boats we talked about. He's wishing for more wind and larger water, as is this boat, VL57 Pier 57. Both of those fountain hulls. Here is our leader in Superboat stock, S19 Bermuda Barracuda. After a 2-year absence, I tell you what, right now there's no stopping this team. They are indeed fast in that 30-foot catamaran. Mape out of the race, S1. I'm also being told by race control that Team Hawk, also in Superboat stock, is out of the race, which puts this boat, S77 Oceans 234, they are now in a solid 2nd place in Superboat stock with a brand new team, and 3rd place, S49, Pour It On. Boy, this Superboat stock class is so competitive. We've talked about it many times. The catamaran hulls are so much alike. The outboard power identical. It comes down to driver and throttle man. Battle for 5th now between Deep V Catch. You see, that's a very unique configuration. You see how wide that tunnel is on that boat. Lee Austin designed that boat, 32 feet in length. And we'll look off the stern of S18 Racing Frenzy. Look at the pandemonium going on behind that boat. Chopping the throttle, setting up for the turn, seesawing them back and forth. 7th place, Superboat stock, S111 Kinetic Animation. They need to get this boat a little more animated. They perhaps chose the wrong props today, just do not have the speed, but what a battle here. 2nd place battle going on in Superboat V Limited. Look at that. Neither boat asking or giving any quarter here. They are so close, you could probably just reach out and high-five each other. But they're, even though these teams are comrades off the race course, in the heat of battle, I want to tell you what, they want to win in the worst kind of way. Look at the throttle man's hands. The guy on the left, you see that the hand is not even moving on these straightaways. They got those gas sticks all the way forward as hard as they can. We're seeing speeds now on radar, these Superboat V Limiteds of 103.8 miles per hour. Very, very impressive. Especially when you consider that there's so many turns on this race course, they had to choose a little bit smaller props to have the acceleration coming out of the turn. The larger diameter props push more water for higher top speed, but you sacrifice the acceleration on the turns. Coming at you right now, 38 feet of fountain V-bottom, screaming at over 100 miles an hour, getting a little side-by-side, rocking back and forth. Hold it tight, boys, you're going through the bridges. Don't lose it now. The throttles were all the way forward. I was watching the right hand, the throttle man on the left. He did not let up one iota. Our overall leader running a truly flawless race today, as they did in Miami, is Team Firewater. You see how much more stable, how much more stability is involved with the longer hull. That last boat was a 38-foot fountain. This boat is a 42-foot fountain. The longer spans of the hull smooths the water, smooths the ride out so much more. You see that? Not to mention the added weight of these larger hulls.
You know, one of the perks of being a Superboat broadcaster on the Outdoor Life Network is to get a chance to hobnob and mingle with all these racers and actually play with their toys. When I say toys, I'm talking about the ultimate toys in all the world. or get motorcycles, Harleys, of course the boats, and even some pretty exclusive airplanes that you see behind us. It doesn't get any better than this, and we'll be right back.
Want to welcome you back to Fountain Powerboat Superboat International's Grand Prix here in Marathon in the Keys of Florida. The action is hot and heavy, and it does continue. As we look down on our first place boat in Superboat V and first place overall, Herb Stotler, who builds the engines. He's the throttle man. Rich Wyatt out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's the driver. Very, very professional team. They bring all their support vehicles down here with them. They got the spare engines, the spare drives. They sacrifice nothing to finish first, but this team wants to beat them. You can see just off the port side of Rio Roses, that Fountain boat, the sandbar over there. Those boats do not want to get anywhere close to that, I can guarantee you, or their day will come to an abrupt halt. Still first place in Superboat Limited Catch Showtime, putting on a show for all these great fans here in Marathon. And FountainRacing.com, first place in Superboat V Limited. Trying to stay ahead of this boat, VL30 Mikosuke Indian Gaming. On board that boat now, VL30 Mikosuke. They're pointing towards FountainRacing.com, saying we got to overtake those guys, and we got to pass them. We got to do it pretty quickly. Barracuda has definitely slowed down. They were just passed by Oceans 234, and it looks like that the problems they experienced yesterday in testing may be coming back to haunt them one more time. Here's your new leader in Superboat stock, S77 Oceans 234, brand new team together, a pleasure race configuration boat, so it's a lot heavier, but they're in first place. That's got to make them happy. Great, great battle for second place in Superboat V Limited. National Marine barely edging out Mikosuke. 2 38-foot Fountain hulls out of the same mold are duking it out trying to catch this boat, FountainRacing.com. V1 Firewater headed down the last stretch, heading for the checkered flag. And VL22, let's jump on board now. They've been battling with Mikosuke. They're going to take them. Checkered flag coming up. Ah, they edged them out. Great run, guys. Yeah, give me some skin. They let it all hang out today. First place in Superboat stock, Oceans 234. Great job, guys. There'll be some serious celebrating in that camp tonight. Oceans 234 in Superboat stock. And here's your second place boat, S49, Pour It On. Great job. Coming off the throttles now, they're going to wind it down. They'll be heading back to the pits to garner their checkered flags. Their race day is over in a very, very solid second place. Here's your overall winner, though, Firewater. That's going to make Reggie Fountain very, very happy. His Fountain boats dominated today here in Marathon, the fastest V-bottoms in the world. And he can certainly say that today. He backed it up, and he backed it up big time. Truly an exciting race here in Marathon. The only race site in the world where the boats race under the bridges, going out to the Atlantic and then coming back through. I think we can honestly say it was a picture-perfect Chamber of Commerce weekend here in Marathon.
Betty, because of your tireless efforts, once again, Marathon proves to be one of the greatest races of the year.
It's the only race that goes under the fabulous 7-mile bridge. John Carbonell is just such a treasure, and for him to keep having this race until we get enough motel rooms so that we can have lots and lots of people here, it is so exciting. I took lots of pictures of the crowd to watch how they responded to the race. I never heard so much howling and screaming and picture taking. It's the most fabulous race in the United States.
Well, that it certainly is, and we'll be back with all the winners right after this. The Fountain Superboat International's Marathon Grand Prix has been brought to you by the City of Marathon and by Fountain Powerboats, because there is a difference. By Featherlight Coaches, the official coach of SBI, and by Featherlight Traders, the official trader of SBI. Welcome back, everyone, to the Fountain Powerboat Superboat International Marathon Grand Prix. Great day of racing, and this man's responsible for it.
John, I think it is unanimous. These Marathon fans love SBI racing through those bridges. They're going crazy.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it was unbelievable today. We had 4 and 5 boats really racing close together, and just an outstanding race.
And now we'll move on to Sarasota. It's going to be a great, great venue.
Yeah, it's a first race that we have a combination of both SBI, which is a sanctioning body, and APBA will be racing with us in Sarasota.
Let's take a look at the final results. The top 10 finishers in various classes. Of course, leading the way, V1 Firewater, defending national champion, and he was first overall. Great, great close action racing here in Marathon. Now let's make our way down to the docks and talk to all the winners.
First place in Superboat Limited, great run for Showtime, fresh out of the blocks.
Yeah, we were happy with the performance of the new boat. We had a good time out there today. It was a good race.
James, going through that bridge, that cat, I saw it crabbing just a little bit. You guys were flat out.
We were flat out through the bridge, a little over 100 through the bridge, and the wash was a concern, but there was plenty of room at the end of the day. We ran hard, ran good, and it was a great course. Everything worked well for us.
First place in Superboat V and first overall. You guys were the boss on the water today, my friend.
Thank you, Stan. Yep, we Firewater Mac Tools boat really ran well today. Herb drove great, and we had a great race.
Herb, this thing looked flawless out there. Did you have any problems at all?
No problems. It was flawless. It ran fast and turned really well, and throttle man was great, and we just ran flat out the whole time and won the race.
In Superboat V Limited, what a job you guys did. FountainRacing.com, you dotted the course all day long.
It was pretty flat out there. I mean, you know, David just held the sticks wide open. We turned it. The boat ran flawlessly. The herring props did well. The Mercury motors, of course, Fountain, like I said in the pre-race interview, fastest hulls on the planet.
And Dave, you guys did not let up one iota going through the bridge. I saw it.
No, we didn't need to, Stan. These two guys to my right, Tommy Jordan, Tommy Stubbs, have been completely through the boat. They've got all the gremlins out. We got a checkered flag, so it's back to old times. And I like to present this flag to these two guys who really earned this victory. And I just can't tell you enough how much I appreciate their efforts. Roger and I just went out there today and ran the boat like we have.
Sounds great. See you guys in Sarasota. Congratulations.
Thanks, Stan. Bye.
In Superboat Stock Winners Circle, Oceans 234. This is the first time ever for you, isn't it?
It feels unbelievable, Stan. What a fun race, what a great race course, and my driver for the first race especially did an unbelievably great job. And we really thank the town of Marathon for having us here. It was a great day, and we really are happy about this.
Speaking of happy, I know nobody's any happier than you. Your very first race, great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a little tough getting used to it by a third or fourth lap. It felt like we had some things going on, and I think after that, settled in, ran some people down, had a little luck go our way, and at the end, we were still unsure. We had to sit here and think about it for a few minutes. Did we actually win this race? And we did.
In P1, Kevin, it seems like 2004 is the year of the outlaw.
Well, Stan, I got to tell you, Jay Castelline Marine has hooked this boat up so well that the only thing we have to worry about is not going too fast and breaking out of our speed. So we've held the boat to perfectly within 2 miles an hour of our breakout speed, and no one could touch us today. It was a run all the way under the bridge and back. The catamarans that were supposed to whoop up on us didn't make it.
Another great victory for Team Taboo in Performance 3. Guys, that was really a nice run.
That was probably the best race we've had in the last couple of years. I think we finished, 4 seconds ahead of second place, and I don't think we were ever much more than that apart the whole race. He led, we led. It was a lot of fun.
Well, these guys know how to get the job done in P4. Miami boys, what a run. Congratulations.
Thank you, Stan. It was our first time out there, first race. Well, actually our second race, but we didn't make out Miami because we didn't make it out to the race. So being our first race, him and me together, and coming out in first place is a true accomplishment for both of us. And we're very fortunate for this flag.
In the winner's circle, P5, great adventure. Close racing out there, Bill.
Very close racing. A great course. We loved it. I mean, it was just a neat race.
And the remaining schedule for SBI in the year 2004. Some great venues coming up. Want to invite each and every one of you to join us here on OLN every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. for all the great offshore action.
Another great SBI event in the books here at Marathon, the biggest and fastest race boats in the world. What a show they put on. And now we're off to Sarasota for the next venue. Don't you dare miss it. Guys, where's my margarita? I'm about to burn up in here.